We live in a world trained to see division between mind and body, self and other, science and soul. From childhood, we're taught to chase success, find love, and build identity through external achievements. We grow up thinking we are isolated particles bouncing through time and space, governed by fate, luck, or random chance. But what if none of that is true? What if the very fabric of reality is not built on separation, but on unity? And what if the life you long for is already entangled with who you truly are? Most people live on autopilot, echoing the beliefs of generations past, unaware that they're not actually living, but repeating. Wake, work, worry, sleep, repeat. And all the while, a silent voice deep inside whispers, "There must be more." That voice is not a delusion. It's a remembering, a spiritual knowing that your life is not meant to be a series of struggles strung together by fleeting joys. You weren't born to survive. You were born to create, to embody, to expand. Imagine standing on a shoreline, watching the ocean. You see the waves rise and fall, each with its own form and rhythm, but no wave is separate from the ocean. The ocean is one body of energy, expressing itself in countless forms. You too are a wave, an expression of something far greater than your name, your history, your circumstances. The wave forgets its source and fears its end. But it is the ocean. You are the universe experiencing itself as you. That's not a metaphor, that's physics. Modern quantum theory has shattered the old mechanical worldview. At the most fundamental level of matter, there are no solid things, only vibrating fields of energy and information, endlessly interacting, shaping and reshaping what we call reality. You are not made of separate parts, and neither is the world around you. There is no out there that isn't also in here. This isn't philosophy to contemplate while gazing at the stars. This is the key to your freedom. Because if separation is an illusion, then so is limitation. When you understand that your consciousness is not just observing life, but actively co-creating it, you stop asking for permission. You stop playing small. You start becoming the frequency of the life you desire. Not tomorrow, but now. But awakening isn't always easy. To step into the truth of unity, you must first dissolve what's false. The false stories you've been told. You're not enough. You have to earn your worth. Dreams are for other people. Ask yourself, where in your life are you still chasing something you don't believe you deserve? That question will shake your core because it shows you the cracks in the wall you've built around your potential. Your dream life doesn't begin with strategy. It begins with surrender. Surrendering the belief that the world happens to you. It doesn't. It happens through you. You're not a powerless observer, reacting to events and hoping things will turn around. You are a conduit. You are the current and the spark. When you look at your life, what do you see? Is it filled with joy, meaning, deep connection, and purpose? Or is it filled with fear, obligation, and quiet resignation? If the latter, don't blame yourself. You've been conditioned, and now you're being invited to break that conditioning, to wake up, to remember that you are not the small self your ego has constructed. You are a field of potential, walking in human form. This is not a poetic idea. It is a vibrational truth. And every moment you live in alignment with that truth, you change your life. Not by force, but by frequency. So today, begin not with more effort, but with awareness. Begin by seeing how deeply interconnected you are with everything. Begin by recognizing that your thoughts, your emotions, your intentions are not private. They are energetic signals broadcasted into the quantum field. What you feel inwardly, you attract outwardly. Not because the universe rewards you, but because the universe mirrors you. You are not a victim. You are not a fluke. You are not here to get by. You are here to remember who you are and to live as if it were true. Now that we've begun to loosen the grip of the illusion that life is something happening outside of us, to which we must merely respond, it's time to look deeper. Deeper not into textbooks or data charts, but into the very field of energy you are always inside, always creating, always interacting with the quantum field. But first, let's strip away the fear that science and spirituality are at odds. They never were. The conflict is manufactured, rooted in an old way of thinking that sees knowledge as either logical or mystical, but never both. In truth, quantum physics and spirituality are not two languages, but one dialect spoken through different symbols. The quantum field is not fantasy. It's the invisible sea of possibility in which all things exist as probability waves until they are observed. And here's the part that may forever change how you see your life. It's your consciousness, your observation, that collapses those waves into matter. That's not a metaphor. That's quantum mechanics. Let that sink in. Your awareness shapes reality. You are not just a bystander in the play of life. You are the observer, the actor, the director, and the audience all at once. Your focus, your beliefs, your feelings, these are not passive traits. They are instructions to the field. Every time you think a thought, every time you feel a deep emotion, you are sending out vibrations that interact with this vast, intelligent field of potential. Imagine the quantum field like a blank canvas that responds to the brush of your intent. When you wake up in the morning filled with dread or anxiety, it's like painting with dark, shaky strokes. But when you rise with presence, with clarity, with gratitude for what already is, your brush becomes golden, smooth, alive. The canvas reflects it all, not because you earned it, but because you are it. Here's the catch. The field doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you are. This is why people feel frustrated when affirmations don't work. You can repeat, "I am abundant," 1,000 times, but if the energy behind your words is fear, doubt, or lack, the quantum field will respond to that frequency, not the words. Energy doesn't lie. You are broadcasting a signal all the time, through your feelings, not just your speech. Think of your emotions as magnetic. Every moment of longing, fear, joy, or love is charged. You're like a human transmitter, tuned into a certain station, and reality tunes itself to match your broadcast, not as reward or punishment, but as resonance. Just like two tuning forks will vibrate together when struck, your inner world is always calling forth its match from the outer one. This is why meditation matters, not because it's spiritual homework, but because it recalibrates your inner vibration. In stillness, you stop broadcasting the noise of fear and allow your system to return to its natural frequency: peace, presence, power. There are thousands of documented cases of people healing their bodies, transforming their finances, changing their entire lives, without any external help, just by shifting their inner state of being. These aren't miracles, they're quantum responses. The field doesn't ask if you're worthy, it responds to who you believe yourself to be. So, who do you believe you are? Do you see yourself as someone who is always striving but never arriving? As someone who must prove, fight, or wait to become enough? Or are you ready to step into a new identity, one rooted not in fear, but in truth? The truth is this: you are already the frequency of your dream life. But like a radio trying to catch a signal, you must be tuned to receive it. You don't need to chase what you want, you need to match it. Because what you are seeking is also seeking you, but only if you become the version of yourself who can hold it. Ask yourself, what are you broadcasting when no one is watching? When you're alone with your thoughts, do you vibrate hope or helplessness? Faith or fear? The field doesn't judge, it only mirrors. And that is your power. Because it means you are not stuck, you are not broken, you are not behind, you are simply misaligned. And alignment isn't about doing more. It's about remembering more deeply who you are beneath the noise. Start small. Begin to observe how you feel when you imagine your dream life. Do you feel joy or doubt, lightness or resistance? Those feelings are data. They are not blocks, they are invitations to turn inward and realign. You're not manifesting your future, you're magnetizing your now. Every moment is a new wave of energy collapsing into form. You're either collapsing more of the same or opening to something miraculous. You don't have to wait. The field is already listening. By now, we've begun to awaken to a profound truth. Reality is not something out there waiting to be conquered. It is something in here, inside your consciousness, inside your energy, waiting to be remembered. But if that's true, why do so many people still struggle to create the life they deeply desire? Why do some work tirelessly, think positively, even meditate every day, and yet nothing changes? Because beneath the surface of intention lies a hidden architecture, your belief system. And beliefs, more than anything else, govern what you will allow yourself to experience. Not consciously, but energetically. Let's speak plainly. Your beliefs are not facts. They are stories. Stories you've accepted, often without question, passed down from parents, schools, religion, media, culture, and trauma. Stories that have shaped your self-image, your expectations, your sense of what is possible or impossible. These stories form the lens through which you view the world, and more importantly, how you view yourself. Imagine trying to manifest abundance while still believing deep down that money is evil, or that rich people are corrupt, or that success requires sacrifice. Imagine trying to attract love while still believing you're unworthy of being fully seen. Can you see the conflict? The quantum field does not obey your words. It obeys your dominant signal, and your beliefs are the invisible force behind that signal. Most beliefs operate below conscious awareness. Like software running quietly in the background, they dictate your responses, your choices, even your luck. You think you're choosing freely, but you're actually repeating patterns embedded long ago. So to truly create your dream life, you must go deeper than vision boards and affirmations. You must excavate the roots of your identity. Pause here, gently. What do you believe about yourself that might no longer be true? Really ask yourself. Let the answer arise. You might be surprised how quickly old voices speak. I'm not good enough. I always mess things up. Nothing ever works out for me. These aren't truths, they're just wounds dressed as facts. But here's the empowering part. If you learn those beliefs, you can unlearn them. If they were programmed, they can be reprogrammed. This is where the spiritual and the scientific meet beautifully. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself, is not just biology. It's your spiritual permission slip to change. Every time you catch a limiting thought and choose a new one, every time you challenge a fearful belief and replace it with trust, you're reshaping the very circuitry of your being. You're sculpting a new frequency. Let me offer you a metaphor. Think of your belief system like a garden. Some beliefs are weeds, dense, tangled, choking out light. Others are flowers, expansive, life-giving, rooted in possibility. If your garden is overgrown with weeds of scarcity, fear, and unworthiness, you can't just throw seeds of positivity on top and hope for blooms. You must tend the soil. Pull the weeds, water the truth, daily. How? Awareness is the first step. Start noticing your automatic thoughts, especially when something goes wrong or when something good happens. Do you say, "Of course this always happens to me," or "I don't deserve this"? That's a belief talking, not reality. Begin to track these inner voices. Name them, question them, ask, whose voice is this? Is it mine or something I inherited? Second, replace the lie with something true, even if it feels unfamiliar. Not as a blind mantra, but as a new choice. Instead of "I'm not enough," try "I am learning to believe I am enough." Instead of "I never succeed," try "I am discovering what alignment looks like for me." The goal is not to fake confidence. The goal is to speak in alignment with the truth that's trying to emerge through you. And here's a truth worth remembering. You don't get what you want. You get what you believe you are worthy of receiving. That truth can sting, but it also sets you free. Because worthiness is not something you earn. It's something you claim. And the moment you do, the quantum field responds. Because your energy has shifted from longing to embodiment. You don't have to have it all figured out. You only need to stop reinforcing the old story. Every time you do, you weaken it. And every time you choose to trust a new possibility, you strengthen the frequency of your dream life. You are not broken. You are just carrying beliefs that no longer serve the person you are becoming. So ask yourself, lovingly, what belief do I need to let go of in order to become who I truly am? Because once that belief falls away, the path ahead becomes clear, not because it was hidden, but because you were looking through the wrong lens. You are not here to prove your worth. You are here to remember it. When people say, raise your vibration, what does that really mean? Is it about being happy all the time, thinking only positive thoughts, pretending everything's okay when it's not? No, not at all. To raise your vibration isn't about faking light. It's about becoming light. Not as a performance, but as a natural expression of your inner alignment. Your frequency is the sum of your emotional, mental, and energetic state. It's what you're constantly broadcasting to the quantum field, even when you're silent, even when you're alone. So if beliefs shape the blueprint, frequency is the signal you send to build it. Let's bring this closer. Have you ever walked into a room and felt the energy shift? No one said a word, but you could sense tension or joy without explanation. That's frequency. We are not just physical beings. We are energetic instruments. Every thought you think, every emotion you hold, every story you carry, these are the notes you play into the field, and the universe responds in harmony. The law is simple. Like attracts like. But the application takes awareness. You don't manifest what you pretend to be. You manifest what you consistently feel. That's why you can say, I'm abundant all day long. But if deep down you feel anxious, desperate, or unworthy, the field will pick up on that vibration. The signal must match the station. So how do we tune our inner frequency to match the life we dream of? The first step is presence. Real, grounded, embodied presence. When you are present, you step outside the loop of your unconscious programming. You stop reacting to the past. You stop projecting into the future. You become available for new energy, new thoughts, new timelines. Presence is power, and presence is practice. Start small. Breathe deeply. Feel your body. Observe your thoughts without judgment. When your mind spirals into fear or scarcity, bring it back, not with force, but with love. You are not trying to control your mind. You are training it to serve your vision, not your fear. Next, engage your heart. The heart is not just a poetic symbol. It's an electromagnetic powerhouse, radiating energy far stronger than the brain. When you feel gratitude, compassion, joy, or love, you're not just feeling nice things. You are calibrating your entire system to a higher state of coherence. In that state, your energy becomes magnetic, your field becomes orderly, you become a tuning fork for miracles. It's not about being in a good mood, it's about being in a true mood. Authentic, aligned, coherent. Try this. Visualize the version of you who is already living the life you desire. Don't just see them, feel them. How do they breathe? How do they move through the world? What do they no longer tolerate? What brings them joy? What do they trust? Now here's the secret. That version of you isn't far away. It's not in some distant future. It already exists in the quantum field. Multiple timelines exist simultaneously, and your frequency determines which one you align with. So the more you embody that version now, the more your outer world begins to rearrange itself to match. Not through magic, through resonance. Don't try to become them someday. Choose to be them now. You'll be surprised what happens when you start showing up as the future version of yourself before the circumstances change. The people around you shift. Opportunities appear. Old patterns dissolve. Because you've stopped living from the past and begun vibrating from your potential. But this isn't a one-time thing. Frequency tuning is a lifestyle. It requires consistency, not perfection, but commitment. You won't always feel high vibe. That's okay. What matters is your return rate. How quickly you come back to your center when life pulls you off course. And here's something important. You don't tune your frequency by suppressing your pain. You do it by honoring it, feeling it, releasing it, then choosing again. Real alignment is honest. It makes space for your full humanity and still calls you to your highest truth. Ask yourself, what emotional state am I most loyal to? What feeling do I default to when I'm not paying attention? That's your current vibration, not your intentions, not your affirmations, your habits of feeling. But this is good news, because it means you don't need to fix your whole life. You just need to shift your signal. Even a small shift in emotion, from resentment to curiosity, from fear to hope, can create a new wave of possibility in your field. You don't need to be perfect to be powerful. You just need to be present and willing. The universe isn't testing you, it's responding to you. And you, beloved soul, are not here to chase your dreams. You are here to become them. You've come far. You've seen the illusion of separation begin to fall away. You've begun to understand that the quantum field, the great ocean of possibility, is listening to your inner world more than your outer actions. You've explored the beliefs that shape your vibration and how to shift them with presence and intention. So now there's only one question left to ask. Are you ready to live as the version of you who already has the life you desire? Not to imagine it, not to chase it, to live it. This is where spirituality becomes lifestyle. This is where quantum insight becomes embodiment. And this is where you step across the invisible threshold between dreaming of a different life and actually creating it, moment by moment. The mistake so many make is thinking that creation happens when the outer conditions are right. Once I have more money, I'll feel secure. Once I'm loved, I'll feel worthy. Once I succeed, I'll feel proud. But creation works in the opposite direction. You don't wait for security to feel secure. You feel secure now, and the reality forms around it. You become before you receive. You act before you see. You vibrate before you materialize. This is not pretending, it's trusting. Trusting that the version of you who walks in alignment with their dream is not a future fantasy. It's a frequency you can step into now. Not through striving, but through choosing. Choosing the thoughts, emotions, actions, and boundaries that honor who you're becoming. Let this land gently. You're not here to fix your life. You're here to design it. And designing means consciously selecting what you tolerate, what you amplify, and what you align with. Look at your environment, your habits, your relationships, your self-talk. Do they reflect the dream or the doubt? Most people unconsciously live in the identity of their past. Their pain becomes their personality. Their trauma becomes their timeline. But that's not you anymore. You now understand that identity is fluid, that timelines are parallel, that you can shift into a new reality, not by waiting, but by walking. What does it mean to live as the creator of your life? It means waking up and asking, what version of me is showing up today? Is it the one who doubts and delays, or the one who trusts and acts? It means knowing that alignment doesn't mean ease every moment. It means integrity. You'll still face fear, you'll still meet resistance, but you won't obey it anymore. You'll observe it, breathe through it, and move in the direction of your vision anyway. It means no longer outsourcing your worth to circumstances, opinions, or numbers. Your energy is your worth. Your presence is your power. Your frequency is your compass. And it means letting go. Letting go of timelines. Letting go of how. Letting go of needing proof before you believe. The quantum field doesn't work on control. It works on coherence. The more you try to force reality to bend, the more resistance you feel. But the more you embody the outcome, the more naturally it flows toward you. This isn't passive. This is the most radical form of participation. It means showing up every day as if you are already living the dream. Not because you're lying to yourself, but because you're reminding yourself. Reminding your cells, your field, your heart, this is who I am now. And from that space, inspired action arises. Not from fear, not from urgency, from alignment. You take the leap, you make the call, you end what no longer serves, You begin what sets you on fire. Not for approval, not for applause, for truth. Because when your inner and outer worlds match, there is no friction, there is only flow. And yes, you will be tested. Not by a punishing universe, but by your own subconscious. The old patterns will whisper, this is too much, too soon, too bold. That's okay, let them speak, but don't let them steer. Let them be the echo of who you once were, not the voice of who you are becoming. And finally, come back to stillness, every day. Whether through meditation, breathwork, journaling, or simply silence. Because stillness is where you remember. This isn't about becoming someone new. This is about returning to who you were before the world told you who to be. So ask yourself now, as gently or fiercely as you need to, where am I still waiting to be chosen, instead of choosing myself? Because your dream life isn't waiting on the world. It's waiting on you. On your decision to embody the version of you who no longer hopes, but knows. Knows she's worthy, knows he's powerful, knows they are already whole. The field is listening, your future is waiting, and the door isn't locked. It opens the moment you remember who you are, and walk in that truth without apology. You've taken a journey, not just through words, but through layers of your own awareness. You've explored the invisible threads that bind science and soul, energy and intention, possibility and choice. And now, as you stand on the edge of this new understanding, the question is no longer, is it possible? The real question is, am I willing to live as if it already is? You are not here to wish for a better life. You are here to remember that life responds to you, that the dream is not outside you. It's already encoded in your frequency, waiting for your full participation. You are not separate from your future. You are the future, calling itself into being with every breath, thought, and feeling you allow. So slow down, come home, and ask yourself one final question. What would change today if I truly believed I create my reality? Let that question echo. Let it stir something deep. Then let that stirring guide your next step, your next word, your next moment. Thank you for walking this journey. If this message moved you, share it with someone who needs to remember their power. Leave a comment, subscribe for more reflections like this, and most importantly, live what you've learned. Your dream life begins now.